Attendees, thank you all for finding time to attend today's webinar. We are very happy to welcome Mr. Huat, CEO of LIMMAS Malaysia. He'll be sharing with you the product demo of the standard test for our nitrile gloves. Without further ado, let's all welcome Mr. Lim, please.
Thank you. Okay. Basically, let me explain. LIMMAS Malaysia SDN BHD was founded in 2017. And we started with the boxing glove, martial art equipment. And this year, starting from mid-April, we move on to nitrile gloves. So which gives us the opportunity to set up our own factory warehouse in Malaysia, especially in Klang area. So you can see that our factory is located at Pulau Indah, and which is expecting to up and running starting end January or early February. So we have total 12 production lines with monthly capacity of 3 million boxes a month. So currently we are doing OEM. Other OEM suppliers supply the gloves to us. So today I'm very happy to participate in this event, and I would like to explain why you must choose Unbeatable gloves. And this is our inner box, our design. In fact, our design attract a lot of customers' attention. And of course, the other reason why they approach us so much, want to buy our products, because of we have quite complete certificates, especially on EN 455 and ASTM D6319. So today I'm going to explain there are two main standards in nitrile gloves. One is EU standard, the other one is a US standard. So let me start with the EU standard. EU standard for EN 455, which is 2015. So basically there are 4 parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3, and part 4. So part 1 is talking about the freedom from holes. And then for US standard, the ASTM D6319 is equivalent to EN 455 part 1. So these are two quite equivalent, quite standard. And for part 2, EN 455 part 2, which is equivalent to ASTM D6319 also. Whereas for EN 455 part 3, there are two standards for ASTM. EN 455 part 3, they consist of 2 parts. One is powder content, and the other one is aqueous extractable protein content. But in US standard, they split into 2 different standards. For powder content, it is ASTM D6314, and for aqueous extractable protein content, the standard is ASTM D5712. So let me start with the EN 455 part 1. The test is basically a freedom from holes. How do we recognize that whether this glove produced from the production lines is totally free of holes or pinholes? So normally people will try to blow the air, and you see whether is there any air leakage. But this is not a proper test, because the air gives the pressure to the wall of the gloves is minimal. So you can't, this is not a good test. In EN 455 part 1, we do this. We put water in the gloves, and then we will see whether any leakage to the glove or not. So this is a watertightness test for every factory. So we also have this equipment in our factory and our warehouse. So part 2 is talking about the dimension. So there's a difference between EU standard and FDA standard, US standard. In EU standard, they only measure the dimension, the width of the gloves, and the length of the gloves. But in ASTM D6319, which is a US standard, it's different. Beside the width and the length, you also measure the thickness of the gloves. There are 2 thicknesses we need to take care. One is a palm thickness, which is minimum 0.05 mm, and thickness of the fingertip, fingertip, minimum 0.05 mm. So this is additional requirement compared to the EU standard thickness. And EN 455 Part 2, there's a force at break during shelf life. So we need to do the force. We need to cut a dumbbell specimen and try to pull it, and to see whether the force break, is it more than 6 Newton or not. This is based on the EN 455 standard. But whereas for ASTM D6319, the measurement is a bit different. The measurement is on the megapascal, MPa, megapascal. So the minimum requirement is 14 megapascal, and then they also measure the ultimate elongation percentage. Whether can see is it over 500% or not. You stretch until over 5%. If not, if less than 500%, then this nitrile gloves is under warranty. It is under quality, so the quality is failed. So in EU and US, they have a very strict requirements on the nitrile gloves. And for part 3 basically is examining the powder content of the nitrile gloves. The main purpose of doing this is because some nurses or some doctors, they are allergic to certain type of protein, and this protein will make them allergy or itchy. So imagine if the doctor wear these gloves, and then if he feels itchy or allergic, then he need to take it off. If his hand exposed to the bacteria or virus environment, that is very dangerous to his health. So in order to ensure that nitrile gloves meeting the requirement, that's why EN 455 Part 3 coming in, the standard coming in. So there are 2 measurements required. One is to measure the powder content for EN 455 Part 3. And the other one is aqueous extractable protein content. We need to extract the protein from the nitrile gloves. And the standard must be less than 10 microgram per gram of the nitrile gloves. 10 microgram. So for powder content, this is equivalent to ASTM D6124. Whereas for aqueous extractable protein content, the US standard is ASTM D5712. So EN 455, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. So, and EN 455, there's one more standard called Part 4. Part 4 is related to the shelf life. So the shelf life test is require us to put our gloves for 9 months, minimum 9 months aging period, and after that they will take out and test the tensile strength, test the freedom from hose, test the dimension, test the force at break during shelf life. If everything passed, then we will get the Part 4. But unfortunately for LIMMAS, we don't do Part 4 because this is a very time-consuming process. So we don't think that our customer buy our gloves, nitrile gloves, and they will put at the shelf for more than 9 months. Normally, once they receive the goods, then they will sell it off. So it's very fast. So basically, this is my presentation today. So I'm not sure, do you have any question or any questions that I can help you to answer?
To the attendees, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen, or also the chat function.
Unbeatable Nitrile Gloves. Oh. No, the test is for 9 months. The test will take 9 months to complete. But normally the shelf life for the gloves is 2 years. Majority is 2 years, but certain manufacturer, they put 3 years. Any more question? Today we focus on the EN455. In fact, we also have EN374. We pass a lot of, we obtain a lot of certificates. If you are interested on our products, then probably you can visit our website at www.unbeatable.tech, T-E-C-H. EN455 and ASTM D6319 is a very basic requirement for the nitrile gloves. And also, if you would like to meet up with me and to discuss privately on your requirement, on your order status, yes, please do so. And you can set up the meeting with me.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Lim, for your presentation. So anybody who is interested, please do go ahead to set up a meeting with Mr. Lim from LIMMAS Malaysia. So this technical presentation, as well as other sessions, will be available for on-demand viewing until 18 December. You can find the videos on Medical Fair Asia Digital Edition portal under Agenda. So in case you wish to recap any points, or if you have missed any of the session, you can watch it there. Once again, thank you for participating in today's webinar. We hope to see you again next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.